Hello and welcome to more Tic-Tac-Toe. In the last episode, we fought through Silphco and made it here after defeating our rival, and in between episodes, I went ahead and backtracked, fought every trainer we missed in Silphco, so our levels are a bit higher. I found all the items that I could as well. Cold Front is quite literally 44 experience points away from evolving, so I'm very excited. Let's claim the Lapras from this guy right after that. I mean, I don't plan to use the Lapras, but you saw its menu sprite just there. It's not a weather Pokemon, but it is a dragon type. There's literally one trainer standing in between us and Giovanni, and there's no way Cold Front doesn't evolve here. Okay, Electrode tries to block us, that does nothing. Marowak we already know is a fighting type. Scourge can take care of it with the sand. Okay, we missed Mudshot, but it's fine. We outspeed and Bounce misses, and then we just take the KO with Dig. And right here, the moment we've all been waiting for, Cold Front's evolution. In every thumbnail of every video I've made on this channel, Cold Front has been there, waiting for us, and now he's finally here. Gengar. This sprite took so long to make, every pixel is hand-placed. It is extremely difficult to make a gradient of this precision on a 64x64 sprite, and so I'm satisfied that I finally get to use Gengar. I didn't even use it while playtesting. But unfortunately, I probably will lead with Nivelettes. I don't want Gengar to get too overleveled. With that said, here's Giovanni. Ah, Flame, so we meet again. The President and I are discussing a vital business proposition. Keep your nose out of grown-up matters, or experience a world of pain. Yeah, last time he told us we'd experience a world of pain, we didn't lose a single Pokemon in the resulting battle. Nidorino is a fighting type, so Nimbus can take this KO. Horn Attack does not too much damage. Fly gets a one-shot. Omastar we've seen as a Fire Rock, so we could get Nimbus to KO with Surf, but I at least want Cold Front to do something. We see it finally gets Drizzle as its ability, and Omastar immediately cancels it out with the Drought. I was planning on using Weather Ball. Now that I think about it, that would have been a pretty bad strategy either way, because either it had Drought, meaning Weather Ball is a fire type move now, which does 1/4 damage, or it had a Water Absorb, which means it wouldn't have done anything anyway, so I have to switch out. It's fine, this was a big brain play to reset the weather the whole time. I definitely didn't make an oversight just then. Yeah, Giovanni's desperately spamming Protect, but there's nothing else he can do. Dugtrio? Okay, here's where Cold Front can do something. Weather Ball. We finally get to use the boosted Weather Ball for the first time in the playthrough. Feels good. Kangaskhan, I will let Scourge take the kill. Now that I think about it, Gyarados is a pretty good Pokemon on both Rain and Sun teams, right? Because Sun teams tend to be afraid of Pokemon that can reset the weather. But if you're going against a Sand team, then Gyarados' Sand Veil will just make that annoying. Blast it all, you ruined our plans for Sylph. But Team Rocket will never fail. Flame, never forget that all Pokemon exist for Team Rocket. I must go, but I shall return. He shall return about never, and you can get the Master Ball here. He's just so rich that he has a Master Ball sitting around on him, just in his pocket at all times. He's never really planning on using it, it was just a trophy to him. And to be fair, I don't use the Master Ball if I can help it. I'm one of those guys who saves the Master Ball even when I encounter a legendary ancient Pokemon, just in case there might be a legendary or ancienter Pokemon. In my playthrough of Sun and Moon, of Pokemon Sun, I didn't use the Master Ball at all until post-game, and I was just walking through some grass and I encountered a shiny Granbull. I had nothing to damage it with, so I used Toxic and just prayed. But it kept busting out of my Ultra Balls, so I just threw a Master Ball at it, and I named it Master Bull. And so that's how I usually end up using my Master Ball. We've already taken on the Fighting Dojo, so the only thing that's left for us to do here in Saffron City is the Psychic-type gym. We have Nuvolette, who is a Dark-type, and gets Swift Swim. We have 2 reliable Rain Setters. So let's do this. Now, if I remember correctly, the key to this gym is to always go left. And when you can't go left, go down. I could be wrong, it's been a while since I last played this game, but it works like a charm. We get straight to Sabrina with no issues. Okay, I think I'll lead with Miko just to get the weather control, and then Nuvolette will clean up. If we had Volt Switch on Miko, that would be perfect, but Volt Switch doesn't exist in this game.
I had a vision of your arrival. I have had psychic powers since I was a child. In fact, I used to be called Teenage Witch. I dislike battling, but if you wish, I will show you my powers.
Alright, Sabrina's team is usually pretty formidable, especially that Alakazam, because there are no dark types in Vanilla Fire Red and Leaf Green, so you just kind of have to brute force it. Here, I'm hoping it'll be difficult for a different reason. And I think we might be a little bit over-leveled. But that's fine. We did fight Koga first. Yeah, wow. Even though that was super effective, that did less than half. And it's going to do even less now, because he's at +2 instead of just +1. Surf does a little bit. Wow, that is crazy. That was a crit. Our best answer into Sabrina just fell in one shot to a crit. Okay, well, Air Cutter. Wow, okay, even that doesn't do that much damage. Psychic would have done a lot. Okay, I think this is our first time seeing Mr. Mime. There was a trainer in Silphco who used Mr. Mime, but I didn't bother recording the footage. Mr. Mime is Psychic Dark, actually, so even if Nuvolette was here, I wouldn't have been able to answer him. So I'll just stay in with Nimbus. Oh, he traces my Rain Dish. So he'll start recovering, but actually, we get a lucky crit, so we trade 1 for 1 in terms of crit one-shots. Wigglytuff here, we've already seen before. I think Nimbus can handle it. Calm Mind is not going to do anything to reduce Air Cutter's damage, because Air Cutter is physical in this gen. So thankfully Sabrina's AI just doesn't know when to set up. Nidoqueen is going to be here ace here. Let's have Cold Front demonstrate what we can do. Yeah, Weather Ball is insane. Cold Front is pretty much like walking Wake at home. So we don't have Draco Meteor.
This loss shocks me, but a loss is a loss. I admit, I didn't work hard enough to win. Your victory has earned you the Marsh Badge.
Yeah, it's always been kind of weird to me that Sabrina is able to foresee the future thanks to her psychic powers, but A, she doesn't foresee her own loss, and B, she takes it extremely well, unlike Claire and Johto, who pretty much throws a temper tantrum when she loses. With that said, we have every badge right up until Blaine. So the only thing that's left is, or the immediate task rather, is to go fight Blaine or make our way through the Pokemon Mansion. But we do have a couple chores to take care of before then, namely awakening our Helix fossil. We did pick it up in Mount Moon, and Omastar is technically a weather Pokemon, as we saw in Giovanni's team. So we might as well leave it in our box as an option. And he says it'll take a little time, but the way it works is just you can leave the room. And even though we did it in the fastest time possible, he still sells real late. So because Ammonite is a weather Pokemon, or can be a weather Pokemon, I will nickname this Ammonite. I didn't think of a nickname. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'll just go with Igneous after the rock. And we might as well revive the old Ember too, even though Aerodactyl is not a weather Pokemon. I don't think we've seen Aerodactyl. I might as well showcase this design. Yeah, we see this Adamant, so it can use its Rock Stab, but not its Fire Stab, which is unfortunate because Drought plus like Fire-type moves would be pretty crazy. Has Shell Armor. I'm not sure what that ability will become when it evolves, but I don't think I'll use Omastar anyway. And here we can just leave it. Aerodactyl is not a weather Pokemon, so I'm not nicknaming him. But yeah, here we see it's flying electric. Kind of has like the glowing blue rocks from Charged Stone Cave. But yeah, that's all I wanted to do in Cinnabar Island for now. I think since we caught Zapdos, it would be pretty sucky to catch one of the legendary birds, but not the other two. And since we have the Ultra Balls for it, I did replenish after we caught Zapdos. I will make my way to Seafoam Islands and attempt to catch Articuno. Thankfully, even though the puzzle in this area requires strength, that's not an HM that we're reluctant to teach because it's actually good in this game. And I'd like to showcase some of the encounters here. So I'll refrain from using Repel. Just for now. Although, it seems like we're not actually getting any encounters. And also looks like this is the wrong side of the cave to enter from. I don't usually go through the Seafoam Islands. So that's fine. I will fly to the other side and make my way to the other entrance up north from Fuchsia City. Okay, and we're finally here. There were 2 trainers that I missed along the way, so Miko did grow a level and Scourge did take a bit of chip damage, but that's fine. Okay, well Zubat, that's kind of anticlimactic. I was hoping to showcase some of the new encounters that we can find here. Like Machop, I think we've seen Machop plenty of times before, but here's where you can actually get one. There are a couple ice types here, there are a couple of water types in the lower floors that actually have water in them. Yeah, Onyx. This is what happened to Brock's ace. I turned it into an ice type. Not any better of a defensive typing than rock ground. But hey, at least it's visually a bit interesting. I'm not sure how viable it is. Yeah, the game just straight up gives you a hint to the puzzle for this area. Not sure who put that sign there in the lore. Like, is this just the musing of someone who got lost in this cave?
I think the boulders might redirect the flow of the water.
Oh well, can't do anything about it. Guess I just better put a sign there so that future people might know what to do. Yeah, I think we've seen most of the land encounters, but there are some more encounters in the water, so I won't spare Pell just yet. Although it does make the encounter rate here a bit annoying. Luckily, these puzzles aren't the most difficult. Okay, and that's that. We can swim here now. Can I encounter something interesting? Okay, Ditto, we've already seen it, not very interesting. Rhyhorn, yes, this is where we get Rhyhorn. Okay, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I wanted to show. And with that, we can fight Articuno, see what its design has become. Let's see, I think Neuvillette might just be our best answer. And I will save, like last time, I'm not afraid to reset if Articuno faints or wipes my team somehow. So let's do this. Like Zapdos, Articuno greets us with the traditional Gyow. And as you can tell from the lost soul embedded on Articuno's chest, it is a ghost type. Yeah, Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos, they've all been changed from special types, Fire, Ice, and Electric, to physical types, Steel, Ghost, and some mystery type that we'll see later. Yeah, Air Cutter did a lot of damage there. I won't even bother healing off with Moonlight because it did over half. Luckily, it doesn't seem to be very smart, doesn't seem intent on attacking Neuvillette, just wants to destinally bond. I mean, I would also be really bound to Neuvillette the first time I saw him, but it's kind of a bit much. We can chip down Articuno with the sand here, and then when it gets too low we can just swap out and set Rain instead. Alright, just like that. And now it's just time to chuck balls. Yeah, with emulator speed up, this is not too bad. But man, is this a slog in the base games. It's entirely luck-based, it's not very fun, not exactly the peak of gameplay that you would expect. But it's all part of the game, it's fine. Yeah, it would be nice to have Thunder Wave. Okay, well, I spoke a bit too soon, but we caught Articuno. Articuno's spectral body is made of the souls of those who perished while trapped in the Seafoam Islands. And we won't nickname it. But now we can just dig to get out of here. We dig underground and escape above ground with no visible hole in sight. Just how I like to do things in real life. And yeah, now we can go back to Cinnabar Island and start taking on the Pokemon Mansion. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll have enough time to get through the entire mansion in this episode, but we at least have enough time to level Neuvillette let up to level 40 off of this random wild wheezing. This is where you catch a Geodude. I think I put Geodude in here because by default you can get fire types in this place. But yeah, I just wasn't sure where else I could put him. But yeah, Geodude technically accessible before Blaine, so at the same time as Vulpix, in case you are missing a grass or fire type on your team. I don't think I'll hit the secret switch just yet. Graveler we've already seen. Golem. Graveler does evolve into Golem by level, I believe. So no trait evolutions. I think that's the way back from the basement level. Okay. Now I think I will spray repel. Actually, I think I'll use this HP up that we found at some point probably in Silphco on Scourge, since it has the highest base HP. As far as special defense goes, yeah, it looks like Scourge also has the highest special defense. So maybe we'll build Scourge with a little bit more bulk. We can run like the evasion strat, and then even if you do hit the Gyarados, it just has so much bulk that it lives anyway, kind of like the infamous Articuno set. Okay, Execute here, we've seen that Executor is a weather Pokemon, so I think it might be worth catching just to have it in the back. Yeah, Executor sets Drought, and since I think it only has Drought as its ability, then if Omastar doesn't happen to get Drought, we'll have at least one. And I think I'll just take on this trainer, and that'll be the end of the episode. Oh, what a coincidence. We get to see the unveiling of Lapras, so that's nice. That'll be the climactic conclusion to this episode. Lapras is a dragon type. It has the same or a similar color scheme to Haxorus. Wow, Flamethrower does a lot of damage. I think, if I remember correctly, it's Dragon Fire, and we'll be able to confirm that. Okay, well, it is almost certainly Dragon Fire since it does set Sun. We're going to unset the Sun. I love it when I only have one Pokemon and my opponent has 6 Pokemon, and despite that I set up Perish Song, literally guaranteeing that I lose the fight. It's just a really good idea in general. Yeah, it's Dragon Fire, Weather Ball, the water type version, was neutral there. And Scourge catches up with the rest of the team to learn Bone Meringue. It hasn't learned Earthquake yet, and Bone Meringue is the same base power as Earthquake, only 5 less accurate, so I will get rid of Mudshot. And there we go. That can be the climactic reward for the episode, along with this Max Potion. And this random Execute. Okay, next time we'll take on the rest of Cinnabar Mansion, probably get to Blaine as well. But until then, thank you for watching, and goodbye.